Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the final episode for 2023 of TightSpot's Lounge. What a wild run that we've had. Nakattack disappears as I say that because I don't know why Discord does that to us every episode. But we are live. We are in charge. We are here to kick ass and take names with this final episode. I'm glad you guys could all be here. Nakattack, it's been a great year. It's been a great year. I say so myself. It's been a great year of movies. And we're going to end out with one of my favorites. Is we do it every year. We get to choose one of our favorite movies as a treat for everybody out there to indulge in. They may have never saw it, or they may have, and they may have really enjoyed it. So, today we are touching base on Bohemian Rhapsody, the biopic of the legendary rock band, alternative rock, whatever genre you want to call them, pop rock maybe even, because you have bands out there covering them that are pop rock bands nowadays. But we are here, and yeah, how you been, Nick? How you been, Nakattack? What's been going on?
Well, not too much. Just been schedules all thrown off because of the holidays and everything. So
Oh. It's just yeah. I mean, honestly, this holiday season, I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, honestly, I can't believe this is the last Friday of the year already. And our last episode of the year. I mean, I'm excited for 2024. We have a lot of ideas to make this stream a lot better for ongoing streams, ongoing shows. And it's interesting to see the year that we've had in film. And yeah, so Nakattack, I mean, honestly, to delve into what we'd love to do a lot as well in the show, like, what are some of the albums that you've been listening to this year that really caught your ear? I mean, I know there was a couple ones that you mentioned to me briefly in the rock genre, the hard rock, the heavy rock, whatever you want to call it. What albums caught your ears this year? Anything in particular that people should know that they may have not listened to yet this year?
well, I've mentioned them before, but Brothers of Metal, all their stuff is great. You can listen to the full albums on YouTube. What else? I've discovered this band called Oomph, OOMPH. They're German or something. Their new album is really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, those are like the standouts for me this year. I've listened to a bunch of other stuff, but
I didn't think you forgot. You mentioned to me like you really enjoyed the Seven Dust and the Stained albums, or did they fall off?
They fell off. Like that was like hey, new album out. I listened to it, and then I'm like, nah, I haven't really gone back since then. So.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and I don't know why I did this year. I really didn't listen to a lot of music. I did not like just sit down and do a lot like I used to with my podcast, and sit down and analyze or listen to a full album. And be like, okay, there were a couple albums I listened to, but like. I think I'm at that point in my life, and I think Nakattack can agree that, like, you're, like, not really searching for more new stuff at this age. Like, you're, like, stuck, and you're like, oh, okay, I really enjoy this stuff. Like, I'm going to stick with this. I
disagree. I like a certain sound, but I'm always looking for new bands.
Okay. Yeah, I mean... I am looking for new stuff, and that's why I'm going to continue New Music Inferno in 2024, but it just seems to me that I just don't know where to go. Like, I know where to go to find music. I'm not lying about that. I know where to find music if I wanted to. I have emails galore of bands that are like thrown at me every day for the podcast and just opportunities.
If you're looking for new stuff to listen to, I find it I found a lot of cool bands by following record labels on YouTube.
Okay.
Like if you find the who was it? Like Brothers of Metal. Like I found their record label, and then I was finding all these other cool stuff. Like AFM Records is one I follow. That's how I found Oomph.
Okay.
Napalm Records is another one.
Yeah, Napalm's really good.
Follow the record labels, and you'll find some hidden gems.
Okay. All right. There you guys go. Record labels are where to go
My
now.
pro tip, my music listening hack.
Yeah. Follow labels that you don't know about and go about it that way. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this year with movies, we've been all over the place. We covered Saw all summer long, which I think was a cool idea in its birth, but like realizing
I think I forgot how many there were. It went on a little long.
Yeah, it did. It did go on a little long, and oh no, you're not supposed to do those during this show. Oh, okay. Is it gonna pop up? I don't think so. I don't have it.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger. Now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry if I'm not back again this time tomorrow. Carry on as if nothing really matters.
It's the text-to-speech. Rick Sanchez text-to-speech that one of the chatters did in the chat. So, Rick Sanchez was doing, Mama, ooh, nothing really matters. So, he was singing a lyric to the
now.
Queen.
I'm there. I'm on the Twitch.
Sammy, thank you for doing that. I'm sorry I didn't turn them off. But that was interesting. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I read it. I'm like, oh, he's doing Rick Sanchez doing Queen, which was funny. To add to the podcast there for a second. Stomp, stomp, clap, clap. We will rock you. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining us as well. Everybody who's coming in, thank you. I know we started quickly into the things of this because Nakattack is worn out. I am a little tired, so I have to work tonight, like always. But I don't mind the job, and I'm glad that you guys
our Bag Dies episode.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna change it. I think with everything going on in my life, I don't know. We'll see. So, with that being said, I have a feeling that I'm gonna look back this year that I really didn't touch a lot of bases of music, and I apologize for that to everybody out there. But I think next year, look forward to a lot more music recommendations from me and Nakattack on this show, and also a New Music Inferno for me, for that matter, since that is my solo hosting duties that I do here on TightSpot's Playhouse.
Also, if you're unaware of the station WXPN out of Philadelphia, go to their website and listen to them online. They're one of the few remaining indie radio stations out there, and they play a whole bunch of cool stuff.
All right, there you guys go. More recommendations from our boy Nakattack.
That's where I discovered the Head and the Heart.
Yeah,
really good folk rock band.
Yeah, I got to see him live twice. I've seen him live. I met him with my wife Danya. With my boy, yeah, with my wife Danya. We saw him once for free, and then I got to do him again for free when they were out here at Virgin Theater, which was awesome. They're really good live. So anytime they come back to Harrisburg, Nakattack, and you guys can get a date night, go on a date night and go see them if they ever come to Harrisburg. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple shows this year. I mean, honestly, got to see Aqua. My review is up there on the YouTube if you guys have not seen that. Aqua was damn good live. I mean, honestly, they were energetic, and being that they're in their 50s performing and not just like doing behind the scenes stuff is fucking awesome. And guys, if you guys want to help make the stream better, by the way, also, if you guys did not know, gifted subs are 25% off, so they are only $3.74 for the month. The rest of the month, if you guys want to sub as well. What's up, Scrappy Stillo? Thank you for joining us as well. We're talking about Bohemian Rhapsody here in a second, the biopic done by Remy Malek and the rest of the crew there on Queen. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Everybody's finally coming in and realizing that this is some good quality content, I think. But yeah, so expect a lot more from us this coming year. We have a lot of great ideas. I know Nakattack has a great idea for our summer one, which we will divulge later on in 2024. Maybe in the beginning we'll talk about it next episode for our first episode, because I really like that idea that you mentioned in the text in our little chat that we've had about it. Because I think
I don't remember what it is. I'm curious now too.
Oh, do you want to talk about it then, Nakattack? It's the summer
Not
of
right
it's
now.
the summer of something
we need to
something
derail
something.
things.
I will text you after the show and make you remember. Be like, oh yeah, I came up with that idea. So where do you want to start, Nakattack, with this movie? I mean, we talked about our weeks. I mean, by the way, everybody, hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas, and I know you guys are excited for Sunday already. It's New Year's, which is crazy. Like we mentioned already, how the year has gone so fast. But Nakattack, how was your Christmas, by the way? Let's get that out of the way. Let's get out of the formalities real quick.
That's not my favorite holiday.
Okay, all right. There it is.
Just because I'm a minimalist and I just hate the accumulation of junk.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm sorry. I have too much junk. I apologize. I'm an asshole. I'm an idiot. But everybody, I hope everybody had a great Christmas and a holiday.
I can show everybody. I think they got them here, but my the gift I gave to my kids.
Yeah, your kid's idea was great.
Okay, here's part of it. So I gave them, I'll just show up tickets instead of stuff. So they can cash these in, like one's these like for a movie and one's one-on-one time with me, and I gave them one for like a free
one-on-one
from Dairy Queen. So
one-on-one time with you.
Cash those in. They've my twins have really been enjoying the artwork one.
Oh yeah?
I've been drawing stuff for them, so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. That's a cool idea. So
They're having a bunch of fun, and they didn't get more crap to clutter the house, so.
Yeah. By the way, guys, for everybody who did not see yesterday's stream, we did make it to 1,500 followers, so I will be playing this live on stream in full. Detective Pikachu Returns on the Switch. Yeah, so that's gonna be a fun game. We'll be solving crimes with Pikachu, and
oh my God, did they pull a Goonies 2? Where they made a sequel in the video game format only?
Oh, I didn't know. No, I don't know. I mean, this is like, I think this is just a updated version of the DS game that came out years ago. I think that's just a report, maybe. I'm not even sure. I just saw it and I was like, oh, this sounds like it would be cool to do on stream because we have nerds all on stream. But yeah, a lot more things coming on that note. But let's delve into the movie, guys. We have a lot to talk about. I know Nakattack has a lot of things to say about this. I do too. That's why I chose the movie. And the title of the stream, if anyone did not notice, TightSpot's Lounge, what if Queen never did Bohemian Rhapsody? That is a question I'm going to pose to you guys in the chat. What if they never made that song? What if the record company did just put out I'm in Love with My Car and not Bohemian Rhapsody, and if Freddie
they caved to the record.
Yeah, what if? I mean, would they have sold records? Would they have like not made successful? Maybe never never played Live Aid or any of that. Maybe Freddie would have died earlier from suicide or something like that. I don't know. Just thoughts. But let us know your thoughts in the chat. So Nakattack, this movie showed a lot of what Freddie, like, a lot of people go through in the beginning of life, when they're working dead-end jobs and they have big dreams, and people say that their dreams are not worth it, or they're not going to be able to make it. I mean, their parents, Freddie's parents, kind of were upset with, well, his dad mainly, was very upset of the quality of work that he was in, because I believe that Freddie's dad was a pilot. Correct? Am I wrong?
I don't remember. Oh, actually, yeah. You're right. Sorry, right? I remember when he walked in. Yeah, they were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it sounds like it was a story of happenstance that like I don't know if I'm using happenstance as the right word, but he went to a gig to see the band, and then the band somehow that night decides to break up because of the lead singer or the dude in the band did not want to be didn't think they were going to go anywhere. So we see him, and we also see Freddie like writing down ideas that were kind of like song ideas and stuff, because he's already like wanting to sing, wanting to perform, because he knows he can do something. He knows he has this like.
I thought the first act was a little rushed. Like there was no setup that Freddie was kind of a musical genius. It just he is. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we know he obviously was, but I just feel like the film needed to establish that more than other than just, hey, I'm singer for your band now.
Well, I mean honestly,
5 minutes in, and he's part of what becomes Queen.
Yeah,
I felt the first part was a little rushed. Okay. Like especially when he's like playing the piano and stuff. Like they never established like he had any musical talent other than the vocals. I just feel like they just needed like another scene or two just establishing his love of music before he just got thrust into that world.
Okay. Yeah, I never really watched the deleted scenes. So I don't know if there's anything like that in there.
And at the same time, I'm kind of ahead here. I would have snipped maybe a couple songs from the Live Aid 20-minute finale concert at the end of the film.
Oh, really?
Which was nice, but it went on a little long in my opinion. So I felt like they needed a little more setup of Freddie's early life.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. I mean, but you got the gist of it. Like, his dad, it's the typical Middle Eastern family. If I'm not mistaken, he was Middle Eastern. If I'm not mistaken, British. He was British.
Oh my god! It was reminding me so much of Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. I mean, honestly, it definitely did. I mean, he was born in Zanzibar, which was part of is now part of Tanzania. And his parents.
Freddie Mercury is not his birth name.
No, it's Farouk Balsara, which is his given name by his parents.
But Freddie Mercury wasn't just a stage name either. He legally changed his name to that. At least that's what according to the movie. I didn't look that up. But
yeah, he did.
It's probably true.
I mean, he did. He did change his name, and it's. I don't know what to say. I mean, I will say Rami Malek did a hell of a job performing as Freddie Mercury. He definitely fit the role. He definitely had the look. And you can look at older photos look at the old photos of Freddie back in the day, and you can compare to what Remy was doing in the show and the movie. I mean, it was great. I thought they did a perfect job. I'm gonna bring him back. Sorry, everybody. I'm losing Nakattack somehow. Like, we need to figure something better out for this. The whole situation with
I'm still there. It's fine.
Yeah, the gray screen. It's like, hey, where the hell did our co-host go? But yeah, I mean, honestly, Rami Malek did a great job. The story of Freddie. I mean, honestly, it wasn't. I mean, there was a lot of hardships, but not really like that many hardships as you can tell. Like in a sense where it was one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, like the only thing he had, like the only thing Freddie had wrong with him, and isn't wrong with him, is he was very experimental with his sexual relations back in his lifetime, and which is a lot of people do. I mean, a lot of people have those moments in life where they feel something different about somebody, and I'm not like they portrayed this in the movie that he definitely was gay or bi. He was definitely bi, because he loved women, but he loved men as much. And
is Freddie Mercury maybe probably the most famous gay person of the 20th century? I mean, he's got to be, right? Like, everybody knows, he was gay and stuff.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he definitely was, and it like the 20th century definitely. I mean, honestly, nowadays, for modern era, it would probably be Ellen, for the way she came out on TV. But like, for people like Freddie, it was knowledgeable in like certain areas of life, but I don't think like the mainstream media.
I mean, I know we're a little young, but I think with him, like, it was
because he died when I was 6. He died when I was 6 years old.
Yeah, I think as far as his sexual orientation went, like, it was a big open secret, and like he didn't really advertise it, but he didn't hide it either.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong against it. We love Freddie. We're not anti-Queen people. We're not, we're just dissecting the story for you guys out there for maybe who never seen the movie.
Just kind of trying to give context to the time period for which he was, where being a gay man was dangerous in some senses, not only because of the AIDS epidemic, but just because you could have been fired from your job and shit because of just how dumb people were back then.
Yeah, I mean, it
a
definitely
little better now, but it's not. We're not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Mercury and Elton John were good friends. There's a lot of stuff on the. If you want to really delve into the storyline of his life, I mean, honestly, he did exhibit like HIV/AIDS symptoms as early as 1982. Which is interesting to see, and for him to live another like 9 years with AIDS, I mean, honestly, it definitely was interesting to know that. I mean, honestly, AIDS isn't always like a death sentence in like right away, but in the end, it might be. But see,
especially then,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, on the evening of November 24th, 1981, about 24 hours of issuing the statement, Mercury died at age 45 at his home in Kensington. The cause of death was bronchial pneumonia resulting from AIDS. His close friend Dave Clark, the Dave Clark 5, was at the bedside vigil when Mercury died. Austin phoned Mercury's parents and sister to break news, which reached newspaper and television crews in the early hours of 25th of November. They didn't go into that detail into the movie. I know we're getting to the quickness of the movie.
I was kind of surprised when they brought up his death, it was just through text.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they kind of wanted to end on a bit of a happier note with the Live Aid concert, which
was pretty damn epic.
Fine.
It was epic. I mean, it started it that way too. They started the movie that way, because that's when they started it. Like, they started it there, and then we started the path to where Freddie, created his journey and the stuff that he had to go through. I mean, honestly, this movie was 2 hours long, a little bit over 2 hours, but it covered a lot of what they wanted to, because it's a Hollywood film. But if they really wanted to go into like the darker side of things, like the more relationships Freddie had, or the everything else, like, they could have covered just not they couldn't have. What they should have done and they could have done is focused on everybody's story, like how did Brian May get his start, like where did he pick up the guitar, or the rest of the members of the band, but it was.
Queen's story would definitely benefit from like a 13-hour like FX series.
Yeah, I mean it would.
Just to really fill out some of the details of the rest of the band members and stuff.
Just for a movie perspective, I mean honestly, overall, this was a solid flick because it covered what it wanted to cover with the Queen's story. They wanted to cover the songs. They wanted to cover the music. Because that's what certain movies like this cover. I mean, honestly, there's a lot. I mean, but there's other avenues, like you said, and I said as well. They could have done so much other stuff with this band. I mean, honestly, nowadays, Brian and the boys are touring with Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert's performing Freddie's parts. And, they could have tied that in. Maybe that's for another movie. Maybe that's for the Brian May film or whatever they decide to do. But, I honestly believe that this one and also Rocket Man, which came out during the same time period, which was a couple months later, or maybe, I don't remember when Rocket Man came out, but that's the one about Elton John, which I've watched as well, were great timepieces because those two movies right there really covered a time of where movies was kind of like still. In 20 when was the movie coming? When did the movie come out? Damn it. I'm stupid.
This was like 2016 when this one came out.
Yeah, so like 2016 was it 2016? Damn. This oh, that's crazy. 2018. I was like, wait, how was it 2016? But it was definitely awesome to see. And funny thing is, I didn't know this. I just looked it up. The trucker dude that Adam messes around with. But not Adam. The trucker dude that Remy Malek's version of Freddie messes around with is actually Adam Lambert. Did you know that?
No. Who's Adam Lambert? I've heard that name before.
Adam Lambert was So Adam Lambert was on the on American Idol, and he's a LGBTQ member of of the Society of that. He's a singer songwriter as well. But yeah. So I didn't know that. I typed in, I was like, oh, when did Bohemian Rhapsody come out? And then there's an article about Adam Lambert being in the film. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's funny that they put him in there. I did not know that until now. But yeah. So back on track, Nakattack. What do you want to say about this film? What else do you want to say? Go ahead. I keep on talking a lot.
I like the interesting relationship he had with Mary Austin. And at first I was like, wait, did they just kind of alienate like one of the most famous gay people by making his primary relationship about his relationship with a woman? But then I went and looked it up, and I was like, no, he did have a very intense, not sexual, but just like a very strong, like almost soulmate relationship with Mary Austin.
Yep.
I don't know if he had moments where he was kind of controlling, like he was in the film. Where and in those moments, like Freddie Mercury's definitely like the villain of the film when he has when he wants to control like who Mary's dating and stuff like that. But but I also read too, like she was like with him like all the time, like even after the marriage ended and it was on good terms and stuff, despite her initial heartbreak about finding out that Freddie's actually gay. But yeah, I like that. That was good stuff. It reminded me a lot of Alan Moore's first wife. He had sort of a weird relationship like that. Like it was like an open marriage, and actually she left him for another woman, but he still remained good friends with her. Alan Moore, the famous comic book author, who did Watchmen.
Nice. Yep. One of Nick's favorite comic books there. Definitely. Watchmen, the movie I've not really seen. I know my wife likes those. Well, the only one they brought out, Watchmen, right? They only have one movie, right? And then they brought out a series. Am I mistaken like that?
Yeah, the series is like nothing to do with the series is kind of like a sequel from what I gathered that takes
Okay.
place like 20 years later in real time or something. It was I heard it was good, but I didn't see anything about it. I haven't heard anybody talk about it since.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Nakattack. We're going on tangents here.
No, I digress. No, I saw that parallel because I read Alan Moore's biography a couple years back, and this was all like the thing that happened with his wife, his first wife, kind of happened around the same time. The stuff with Freddie Mercury and Mary Austin was happening in the late 70s, early 80s.
So,
These
Nakattack.
British guys, they're pretty open with relationships. So.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, honestly, British guys are one of the things where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, they're either gay, straight, or bisexual, or whatever. Which, nothing wrong with that. We are definitely pro LGBTQ plus community here on TightSpot's Lounge. And, so, Nakattack, I mean, honestly, this movie, it feels like I know, it feels like a journey that we needed to take to realize that, honestly, didn't it feel like, it felt like you were part of the movie. You were the journey, like, you really liked Freddy. He, kind of was a villain a little bit, but, like, in the end, we feel bad for him because of how he was in a controlling relationship that took him down the wrong path a little bit with his tour manager or friend, confidant, Jim Hutton, I believe it was. Am I mistaken? Jim. Let me get the name up here. Hold on. Yeah, Jim Hutton, who was his. I believe, wasn't he like the tour manager or whatever?
No, Jim was the butler. You're thinking of Paul.
Paul, okay. Oops. Yeah. My fault. I got the names wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with what you're saying there. Like, I don't think we needed to go on this journey because I know a lot of it's based on things that really happened, but this is just like such a paint by numbers rock and roller biography. Like, it's almost like the exact same story that all these famous guys go through.
It is.
I can't really fault like the movie itself for that because it is Freddy's story, but at the same time, it's like we've seen it all before.
Yeah. There was also a biography. Somebody Loved the Life, Death, and Legacy of Freddie Mercury that was written around that time in 2018. I didn't get to read that, unfortunately. But I mean, honestly,
the movie's put together well enough.
Yeah.
I liked a lot some of the transitions, like when they were showing the cities they were visiting, the effect of the text like flowing out. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, the whole concept of adding like old actual footage of the concerts and stuff. When they transitioned to that movie, the van and the guys flipping the switches and they're showing old actual clips of TV. That was pretty cool to add that because it's like, okay, we're actually having a realistic view of what's actually going on during that time period, which we were sort of part of, but we were too young to remember because this happened in 85 to 91.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling my son, I was like, I remember seeing Live Aid, but then I was like, 85. I was like, no, I couldn't have seen it. I was like, then I was thinking, oh, Mercury died in 91. Like, I probably saw footage at the time of the Live Aid concert when he died, because I vaguely remember hearing about his death.
Yeah.
I was like just old enough to kind of be aware of that stuff. And so, like, for some reason, I think that's where I had the idea in my brain that I watched Live Aid. But I didn't actually see it. I just saw probably like clips of it because they showed him in the news when he passed away or whatever.
Yeah, I never got to watch Live Aid, but yeah, 6 years old and when he died, so it was kind of like I may have seen clips, but like I was too worried about painting and doing kids things at 6.
You
Maybe.
actually want to know what my introduction to Queen was?
What? What was that?
The Mighty Ducks, actually.
Yeah. Yep. Same here. I would say that. Say
probably our generation. That was probably our introduction to Queen.
Yeah.
That movie had, how do I want to say this? That movie kind of implemented. That's right. That was what I was saying. That movie implemented those songs pretty well.
Yeah. They did, and we love that series. I mean, honestly, we kind of disliked.
Well, one of us loves that series. The other one thinks it's okay.
Shut up. Oh, Marina, Mariner the Demon, thank you for that follow. 1501. Here because of Donnie. I know you're here because of Donnie, and I thank you for being here. So Mariner the Demon, thank you for follow. Let's give him a shout out real quick in the chat. I apologize, guys. Let's give him a shout out. He's on his way to affiliate on Twitch there. But anyone who's over there on the YouTuber kick, thank you for watching us there as well. So Nakattack, anything else to say about this movie real quick before we maybe wrap this up and announce what the first show of 2024 is going to be?
No, nothing really. I mean, it was well made. Nothing really groundbreaking about it. If you're a Queen of fan, I guess there's plenty to like. If you have a sound system, I highly recommend watching it on that. I have a soundbar with a subwoofer, and it sounded awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a paint by numbers rock and roll biography flick. So there's nothing spectacular about it, but I don't regret watching it.
That's the point. It's not supposed to be one of those things where it's groundbreaking. It's just like, oh, okay, you're learning about a person that you really adore with the music. I mean, honestly, I adore the music that Queen has put out because honestly, it's good stuff.
Let me put it this way: I saw Oppenheimer like a month ago, and then I saw this, and Oppenheimer is by far that's like the bar for biography movies.
Okay, well, I haven't seen Oppenheimer. That is on the list for next year's movies for sure. But to a certain extent, this movie definitely had a great cast. Rami Malek did a hell of a job as Freddy, and I congratulate him on that. I also think the story of Queen, I mean, yes, it's like a cookie cutter with little obstacles and little side pieces, was a success story. I mean, honestly, their music is iconic for our generation and the generation that they started in, and hopefully, their legend can continue in years to come with their music. And I know I wanted to play the trailer, but we'll skip that segment for today. And
I did like the little nod the movie had to Wayne's World when that one record exec was saying no one's gonna be banging their heads to Bohemian Rhapsody in their cars.
Yeah,
I immediately just thought of Wayne's World when you said that.
Yeah, and it's fun. Let's talk about that real quick. Mike Myers was in the movie. He got to portray the record exec. I mean, honestly, that was yeah.
That's crazy.
That was Mike Myers. You didn't know that? You didn't know that was Michael Myers? That was Mike Myers.
He had sunglasses. He had that beard. Like his face was like totally covered up. So.
That's why I was like, Nick, like, why didn't you mention? I was like, I'm waiting for you to mention it, and you mentioned.
We even watched some of the behind the scenes features on the Blu-ray, and they didn't even mention Michael Myers being in the film.
Yeah, that was Mike Myers. See, I didn't know Adam.
Michael Myers is the iconic serial slasher.
I didn't know Adam Lambert was in the film. You didn't know Mike Myers was the record exec, and now you know. But yeah, he played the record exec, and I think that was one of the key spots in the movie. That's why I posed the question.
Okay, so that was an intentional Easter egg then. Okay.
Yeah, because I that's why I asked the question. what if Queen never made Bohemian Rhapsody? Because we have that segment in the movie where Mike Myers, who plays the records, that says, we're going with I'm in love with my car instead of Bohemian Rhapsody because it's 8 minutes long. But you know what? What's a more iconic song? I'm in love with my car or Bohemian Rhapsody?
Well, didn't he said My Best Friend? Because that was the other big single from that album.
Yeah, My Best Friend, which is like the second place song on that album. Basically, it goes Bohemian Rhapsody, My Best Friend, everything else on that record. I mean...
Yeah, but, I think they definitely would. Bohemian Rhapsody for sure made them stand out from everything else. Honestly, I like the song My Best Friend, but it sounds so much like Spirit in the Sky, in my opinion. It's just very similar to that song. And
you said their favorite song on this record is the Prophet song? Talk to me about that real quick.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
I listened to this album for the first time earlier today because it was such a big part of the film. And I was like, I never actually heard that album, so let me crack that in. And I like the Prophet song is another huge song on the album. I really like that one. That's my favorite deep cut from that album.
Nice. So every time Nick goes away, he's actually going to get drinks for everybody at the lounge. So anyone who wants a drink, he's the bartender tonight. So going away. Gray screen. What's going on? So Nakattack, let's wrap it up here. Let's get the final ratings of what we thought of Queen's biopic done by a dude that we won't mention his name because he is no longer viable in Hollywood, for that matter, because of allegations and all that. But what was your overall score of the movie?
A solid 3 out of 5.
Okay, all right.
Might be a 4 if you're a Queen fan. I'll just say I've always been a casual Queen fan. The only album of theirs I have is the Greatest Hits. I've never really delved deeper into their discography. Just I don't know. Just probably just because of the time period I grew up in.
Yeah, I hear you. That's true. That is true. But I would say this. Being a Queen fan, being kind of a not really hardcore Queen fan like a lot of people are. I've never got to see them live. I never went to go see them on the Adam Lambert versions of the tour. I would give this a solid 4.5 out of 5. Just because it's a great movie. And just to have a point off for the director. Because of the shit we talked about off air. But everything is perfect in that movie. It won awards. It definitely deserves a lot of praise for everything in general. But yeah. So Nakattack, you are picking the next movie. The first one of 20.
Before we get into that, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Because I had someone in mind for the answer to this. Who could have taken over for Freddie Mercury's to keep going after his passing?
Sorry, we got a sub for my wife. My wife just came in and subbed on the phone. She's in the living room.
Everything's exploding.
Yeah, you heard 555 and 666. I feel like I said
the secret word on Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Yeah, it was the resubscribing, which she's resubscribed for 14 months in a row. Thank you, sweetheart, for doing that. You didn't have to. Sure, she gets ad for viewing. If you guys are here, please sub. It helps the channel grow. But
just to repeat my question, who could have replaced Freddie Mercury if Queen decided to keep going after his passing?
Ooh. In 91?
Yeah. When I give you my answer, you're gonna be like, of course. And it probably would work too.
In 91, gosh damn, I'm thinking of 91. I'm gonna say
that's fine.
You know what? I'm gonna give. I don't know if they were even around in 91. This is a funny one because you just brought me to that question out of nowhere. I'm going to say. Oh Jesus, this is a stupid one. I'm gonna go with the lead singer of Crash Test Dummies. I don't know why. think the lead singer of Crash Test Dummies could do Freddie. Maybe I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Nakattack?
I think the only guy that could fill those shoes is Ronnie James Dio.
Oh wow! Thank
And
you for
once
what?
I was thinking about it, I was like, oh my god, I would love to hear like Ronnie James Dio sing oh crap, We Are the Champions. Like I would love to hear his rendition of that.
Danya, the question was from Nakattack. He said, if Queen continued on in 1991 after Freddie's death, who would you want to see replace Freddie? Because Freddie died in 91.
Because he already did the impossible by replacing Ozzy and Sabbath.
Yeah, that is true.
Ronnie James Dio is probably like the second most iconic rock singer as far as vocals go, in my opinion.
What about Bryan Adams? He was big in 91. I'm just pulling the singles from 1990. Let's see. Boys the Men, nah. Damn Yankees, nah. Just, you know what? How about this? What if Marky Mark took over for Freddie?
That would have been a disaster.
It would have been. I'm looking at all the top songs. How about Michael Statt from REM? That would have been interesting.
In my opinion, I think like Dio's like the only guy that could maybe match the range that Mercury has.
I mean, Vanilla Ice was big in 91. Michael Bolton, Time Lover and Love and Tenderness was the top song in 91. I'm just looking about how about Seal? Seal would be something different, maybe. I don't know. Black Eye. I don't know.
Someone with the soulful vocals that would sound pretty cool.
Yeah, George Michael. What about George Michael?
I'd have to hear it. I'm not against it, but I'd have to hear it.
Okay, but he's dead. We can't hear it. So Freddie and Brian.
Well, Ronnie James Dio is dead too.
Yeah, so they're all
back in, but we gotta rewind the clock to 91.
Yeah, they're all back in heaven right now, arguing about this because of us. So my wife in the chat has said Adam Lambert, regardless of time, was amazing choice. And then Danya also said Bono. He could hit those tones.
I think
Good choices.
Millie and Vanilli were needing jobs at that point, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. they were lip syncing. Fucking A. What a great way to end 2023 with this episode. I love you guys for all being here. I thank you, Mariner the Demon.
Join us in 2 weeks, and we're gonna check out the Whale.
Yeah, the Whale featuring
the Brandon Fraser Fat movie.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I heard it's really good.
I also heard it's really good. I wanted to check it out.
I have too many good choices for next year, and because I have one from birthday month already, which it's not gonna be a surprise, but like it's not gonna be a surprise to you, Nakattack, because it's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna finally watch it again. One of our 2024 guys is going to be crazy good. Did you watch The Well already, Danya? You didn't tell me you watched The Well already. Jesus Christ, I hate you. I love you, but you watched it without me. Boo. Boo. All right. Boo my wife. I'm going to go boo her later in her face. I'm just joking, babe. I love you. She can hear me from
inappropriate. I don't like it.
Yeah, not gonna like it. It's TightSpot's Lounge where we get inappropriate in the last 5 minutes of the show. But everybody, go follow Nakattack on the Twitter and also on Blue Sky. What is your Blue Sky? I'm on Blue Sky, by the way, because of you.
Yeah, it's just I forget what my handle is because it's so new yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, he'll post it on his Twitter later on.
I mainly stick with Twitter just to help promote this show and follow some comedians still. But yeah, Blue Sky is like such a better site.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't have enough people to host on Kick, so we're gonna end Kick already. So bye, guys, on that. But Nakattack, before you go, anything else you want to say to the fan base out there for 2023 and 2024?
No, just stay nice to everybody, and don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. I say this, guys. Thank you all for the support in year 2023. We made our goal of 1,500 followers, which is awesome. So we will be back with more streaming from me in the upcoming days before the end of the year. But also, guys, thank you all so much for being here today for this episode of TightSpot's Lounge. You guys know my socials. It's twitch.tv/TheRealTightSpot, twitter.com/TheTightSpot, YouTube at TightSpot's Playhouse, TikTok, The Real Tight Spot, kick.com/The Real Tight Spot. Look us up there. Also on Instagram, The Real Tight Spot. And we'll see you guys off to our boy Franchise Gaming. He is over there playing some NCAA 14, doing some scouting games for the recruiting draft class for FGFL. He's a good dude. We're gonna go rate him. We love you guys. Thank you all for being here. Go follow him. Go send him some love. And Nakattack, I love you, bro. I'll talk to you soon. We'll see you all later. Deuces. Much love.